We all make mistakes, but some of the wrong decisions people make are just too funny. Have you ever been in a situation where you were forced to make a decision and you ended up making the wrong one? Well, today we are looking at the top 5 times people made wrong decisions. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing video on Top 10 Binge. So, buckle up and get ready for a wild ride as we count down the top 5 wrong decisions that people have made. Let's get started. Number 5. Deca's wrong decision of not signing with the Beatles. On a fateful New Year's Day in 1962, an executive at Deca Records named Dick Rowe changed the course of music history. He had heard that guitar bands were falling out of favor, so when the Beatles, at the time still called the Silver Beatles, and with Pete Best as their drummer, auditioned for producer Tony Meehan, he passed on signing them. Little did he know that he had just missed the most significant opportunity of his career. Despite the Beatles being turned down by Deca Records, they didn't give up hope, and voila! A month later, they signed with EMI and released their first 8 albums through the Parlophone label. The rest, as they say, is history. The Beatles went on to become one of the most successful bands in music history, selling an estimated $50 million in record sales in the US alone in 1964. They launched their own record label, Apple Records, in 1968 and continued to break records and sell out shows all over the world. Number 4. Using the wrong drug to treat morning sickness. In the 1950s, a new drug was introduced to the world. Thalidomide, a sedative sold over the counter, was initially hailed as a miracle drug. It was marketed as a safe and effective remedy to treat morning sickness and other pregnancy-related symptoms. The drug was so popular, it was prescribed to pregnant women in 46 countries across the world. But as it turned out, the drug was anything but safe. By 1961, the grim truth behind thalidomide was becoming evident. Babies born to mothers who had taken the drug while pregnant were born with serious and life-altering deformities. A condition called phocomelia caused babies to be born with shortened arms or legs and flipper-like hands and feet. It's estimated that by the time the manufacturer of the drug finally pulled it from the market, around 100,000 pregnant women had taken thalidomide, and a staggering 40% of babies exposed to the drug died, either during the pregnancy or shortly after birth. Number 3. The poor decision of making the Hindenburg fly with hydrogen. In the 1930s, the dream of luxurious commercial airship travel was in full swing. The Hindenburg, the largest Zeppelin ever built, was the most luxurious, boasting a baby grand piano and even a smoking lounge. However, this dream came to an abrupt end when the Hindenburg burst into flames above Lakehurst Naval Air Station in May 1937, killing 36 of its 97 passengers and crew. So, what went wrong? The leading theory suggests that a combination of a malfunctioning valve or wire, leaking hydrogen gas, and a buildup of electrostatics from a thunderstorm resulted in the Hindenburg's untimely demise. The spark that set off the fire is thought to have been the crew dropping the ship's landing ropes, which discharged the electrostatic and grounded the Zeppelin. Number 2. Accepting the unknown facade of Trojan horse. Legend has it that the Trojan War had been going on for a decade when the Greeks, in a stroke of genius, came up with a plan to trick their way into the city of Troy. After all, the Trojans' impenetrable walls had proven too strong for an ordinary siege. So the Greeks decided to build a giant wooden horse and leave it as a gift for their enemy. But this was no ordinary horse. It was the Trojan horse. It was constructed to be large enough to fit a few dozen soldiers inside, and it was sure to catch the Trojans' eye. On orders from Odysseus, the Greeks wheeled the horse to the gates of Troy and then pretended to retreat home. The Trojans, not suspecting a thing, accepted the gift and rolled it inside their walls. That night, the hidden soldiers, on the orders of Odysseus, opened the gates to additional troops, and Troy fell. Number 1. Titanic's plethora of wrong decisions led them to a huge disaster. The RMS Titanic, a luxury liner with dreams of grandeur, set sail on her maiden voyage over a century ago. But only 5 days into the journey, the ship met its tragic end, killing over 1,500 passengers. What ultimately caused the disaster that sunk the Titanic? Well, there were multiple mistakes made, and if it wasn't for the lack of safety regulations, untested equipment, and perhaps even a simple human error, the ship may have made it to its destination. The Titanic was severely lacking in safety regulations, with only 16 lifeboats, not enough for even half of the passengers on board. Additionally, crew members weren't prepared with binoculars or proper lighting, and the ship's equipment was never tested before it set sail. It's a wonder the ship made it as far as it did. What may have ultimately caused the Titanic to sink is a simple human error. It was revealed in 2010 that the helmsman may have made a steering error when trying to avoid the iceberg, and the turn wasn't corrected in time to prevent the disaster. We hope you enjoyed our countdown of the top 5 times people made wrong decisions. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more entertaining videos like this one. Until next time, stay safe and make the right decisions.